A pension, a lot of people don't see it as this, but a pension is just another asset. Much like a GIC or an RRSP or a car or a boat, it's an asset. And the law in Ontario says whatever your asset is, including a pension, whatever the growth or the increase in value is from the date of marriage to the date of separation is to be shared. Not split at the source, although that could happen, but to be shared. So when somebody gets married, their pension was worth $10,000, and when they split up, it's worth $25,000. The growth is 15. Mm-hmm. So the person with a pension owes their ex-spouse, their ex-wife, the half of the growth. So in my example, 10 to 25, it grew by 15, mm-hmm. $7,500 or $75, whatever mm-hmm. the growth is what is paid to the non-pension holder.
Does it have to be specifically written out in the marriage contract that you have certain instructions when it comes to pension plans, or is an asset is an asset is an asset?
No. We usually want to be very specific.
Okay, all right.
We want to say that Chesterfield, that car, that GIC, that pension is a protected asset, and when they split up, that person will keep not only what they brought in, but whatever happened to it from the time they got married until now. A pension is different before you start exercising your pension and receiving it. Whereas a pension that you are receiving, because you're retired now, is called a pension that's in pay. And so then the question becomes, a person who is receiving their monthly pension check, then they split up, what do they owe their ex-spouse? And there are different schools of thought. As a basic principle, even a pension in pay is an asset. Mm-hmm. It has value. Mm-hmm. It has to be equalized. Mm-hmm. But there are arguments that against double dipping. Mm-hmm. So a person who is receiving their pension, if they equalize the value of the pension, say the pension is worth $100,000 and the house is worth $100,000, so the couple says, okay, the wife keeps the house, husband keeps the pension, because they're both worth mm-hmm. $100,000. But then the wife says, well, hold on, he's getting $80,000 a year in pension, and I need to be able to live. I need food, clothes, pay the bills on the house. So I want some money per month to cover my bills. Right. So this is an example of double dipping. The pension was just divided. It was just equalized. Right. Because there was a house and a pension. Right. You take the house, you take the pension. Then why should he be using his pension, or she use his pension, to pay the other person's spousal support? And so there's a whole bunch of arguments called rules against double dipping.